What's up, guys? It's Thefaithfulteen. I just want to share a little story to you on prayer. I always had troubles with prayer, just kind of a funny thing. You would think, the faithful teen, I wouldn't have troubles with prayer. It's a pretty simple concept. You pray something and, it happens. But I overthink things a lot. And in my mind, when I'm thinking of prayer, I thought of all the possibilities of what prayer actually does. And it didn't make any logical sense. And up until a little while ago, when I started to stop thinking about logic and just believe, have faith, it was really hard for me to think of the concept of prayer, because prayer is 100% faith and like 0% actual reality and logic. You just throw logic out the window and hope that something's going to happen and have faith that something's going to happen. But recently God's been trying to batter into my head, per se, how prayer can actually affect you. It all started back a few weeks ago in a church service when the pastor said that the church as a whole is beginning to kind of throw the faith element out the window and try to make everything seem logical, that all the demons that we talk about are actually just buildings, and all of the angels that we talk about are actually just like builders. And so that a thing is corrupt and not an actual spirit or other realm that we can't actually describe. And it's interesting because most of the stuff that happens and most of the faith that we have to have in God actually is about like another world and another dimension that we couldn't possibly fathom. That's why a lot of songs say that God is undescribable, uncontainable, unfathomable, because you can't just have God in your hands and say, I know exactly what you are, God, because we don't know He is. We just have to have faith, and we have to believe in what we know is true and what we read in the Bible. So it makes it super hard as we're living our lives, because we're believing in something we can't see, and we think, well, seeing is everything, right? Seeing isn't everything, though. God can't be seen. And we're going to go back to the subject of prayer, which I couldn't believe in because of how it's really on another world. And I used to believe, a lot of the times believe, that prayer was just something that stupid humans would think about, and it would give them hope. And if we had hope, then we'd have faith. And if we had faith, then we'd have God. And if we had God, then everything's all right? But I think prayer is a little more than that, because really the power of our mouths that we've been given is so much more than just a belief in something to comfort our souls. God has actually given us so much power that when Adam and Eve first came on the earth, He gave them the power to name any animal that they wanted. He gave them the power to eat anything they wanted. He gave them the power to drink anything they wanted. But the actual power of that, if you think about it, the bear didn't have a chance to name itself. The lion didn't have a chance to name itself. Humans were given the power through our mouths to go name an animal that would be known by that for centuries and thousands of years to come. So really the power of our mouths and the power of our minds is incredible when you actually think about it. And you can't really think about it, but God has been throwing the word prayer into my head so many times in the past few weeks, which is why I know that He wanted me to talk about this. I know He wanted to hammer this into my head, because in my devotions and my daily social media videos, everything that I do, He's just kind of like throwing in the word prayer. What is prayer? Prayer is when you think of something, alright, and you let the thoughts in your mind, you turn your thoughts to God, and then you make those thoughts into reality. And it's so hard to describe, because it's so not even on this world. It's just completely out of this world. In the book of Romans, we talk about how we are from another world. We're not of this world, and prayer is just the complete concept of that. So really what prayer is you have to think it in your mind. But why would we think it in our mind? What kind of things would we think about? Well, just earlier today, I actually made this video because of a Taco Bell incident that happened. I walked into a Taco Bell, got my, tacos, and when I turned the corner to go sit down, I saw out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody, and they had the most upset look that I could possibly see. They were just looking down, and they just looked horrible. And I felt so bad for them, and I wanted to go over and just hug her or something, or just give a smile or something. But I didn't know what I could do. I couldn't just like give them money, because con artists and stuff, right? But I didn't know what to do. They just looked so upset sitting there. And I had just before watched videos on social media where someone had talked about a success story from somebody that they met in a restaurant. So I'm thinking in my head, like, what can I do? What can I possibly do to help this lady out? I'm sitting here with my family, we're enjoying a nice taco meal, and they don't want to see me going over and praying with somebody, right? And they don't want to see me going over and giving somebody money. They're going to be like, man, you crazy, what are you thinking? So I thought, what's the only thing that I can do in the situation is pray. So I sat there, and I just thought to myself, I said, as down as she feels, I think she needs a piece of Jesus. So I prayed, and I said, Jesus, give this lady the peace that you've given me, that I know that I have felt in myself. Give this to her, and put a smile on her face today, because no Jesus, no peace. Put a smile on her face today, because just one smile has meant so much to me in my life. I just pray that something could happen to that woman that was extraterrestrial, out of this world, something that I couldn't do myself, but I know the Lord Jesus can. And I know I walked out of there, and she still looked pretty upset, but I was confident that my prayer meant something. And that's the last part of prayer. See, the first part of prayer is that you have to think about it. The second part of prayer is that you have to say it. The third part of prayer is that you have to believe it. If you say, think about it, believe that it's true, then it will happen. And that's all I got to say for you. Prayer. Faithful Teen. Peace out.